Hello, hello. Hi, Anne.
Hi, Christine. How are you?
Good. So we're saying hi to all you replay watchers first because you guys get to see the whole thing as everyone else is popping on as they see that they're being notified that we're going live. So maybe we'll do the introductions twice as we're waiting for people to get on. I'm Christine Josti and of Mail Something Pretty, and I live in the Boston area of the United States. And my cohort here
Oh,
is
I'm Anne Lewis. I'm based on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. So today we're going to be doing our regular once a month joint live together, which we always have so much fun. And I always look forward to it, even when it doesn't do what it should do sometimes in the lead up. Got a bit stressful this morning because I can't get anything to print and, all those technical issues. Now, I might hand back over to you to give an introduction of the products or what we're showcasing today.
yes, and I hope we're streaming. It says we're live because so far there's nobody watching. But we're gonna carry it on. So once a month we think of a project or a theme or something common that we make together, and we don't show each other ahead of time. We haven't talked about it, so we don't know what each other is making, which I think makes it more fun. So we are using the here, I'm just gonna actually close up. There we go. We are using the Nests of Winter collection. Okay, yay! Ethel's watching. We have someone watching. Awesome. So we know we're working. And so there's lots in this collection. So there is the stamp set, and there are dies that go with it. There's an embossing folder. There are some gems. There's some thread, and there's some paper. So there's a lot in here. I don't know about you, but right now for us in the US, the linen thread is not available.
Oh,
And
really?
and the stamp set and the dies, it's more the dies than the stamp set, but the bundle is on low inventory. And the paper was back ordered, but they got more in. So it's been popular, I guess is what that means. It's been really popular. And those are kind of some more samples of it.
Well,
So
I've got to say, because this was used during a Stamping Up event,
yes.
really early in the season, even before it was released. And I looked at it and I went, "Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not going to get it. Let's budget. Let's be good." And then I kind of all of a sudden was looking for to do stuff, and I went, "Oh, I wish I had that. Oh, I wish I had that." And I have used it lots and lots and lots in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't imagine doing my Christmas cards now without it. And I've used it all this month, to be honest, because I forgot we were featuring it. So I'm also going to be sharing some of my other projects.
Oh, good. Me too.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, can you hear that I have to relocate something?
Yes. So I'll talk as you do that.
Yes.
And what she
That's my
needs
cat,
is,
in case it's
if you can hear
pouring rain.
a sweet little meow in the background. So hi to Carol, who's watching from the hurricanes. Please be safe. I hope you're not in the direct path. I need to look on the map, but I know you guys are being really hit. So anyone else from Florida and Georgia and whoever else is in that pathway,
Oh,
be safe,
no.
please. I went, it was a virtual event, but I went to that event that Anne was referring to about this whole suite. And I actually have the samples of what we made. So I'm going to
Ooh.
show those. I almost, I almost cheated and made one of those as my project, but I didn't. So yeah, so I have those to show. So Sharon says hello to both of us and to everybody. So great. So we know we're live. So yeah, so we have, you probably don't know this, we have a huge hurricane about to hit Florida right now. I forget the name, Helen. I think it's Hurricane Helen. I'm not sure. So some people might not be watching because of that, but Carol is close to that right now. All right, so I have all of the papers I can show, but if you have all the papers, you can show because you're going first. You can let me know what you want to do.
No, you show while we just get a few more people on, and I'll just say
Okay.
hello to Sharon, who lives in, as I always love saying, the beautiful big town of Gagango in Queensland, which has, I think, like 10 houses. It's definitely what I would call close to the outback or bush.
That's awesome. All right. So, so yeah, Carol, it's Helene, not Helen. So Hurricane Helene. So you get, this is all the designer series papers. So it's just gorgeous. And I brought I have one sheet of each so you can see kind of
That's
the
my
color
favorite, that one.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. It's a kind of a fun one. It has tons of colors in it. I actually like this. I like a lot of them, but I like this one. And then, you know, you can't go wrong with green stripes.
Yeah.
This is a nice one because the dies of the stamp, actually, I can just show you quick. Here's the stamp set. So the dies that cut out this bird and this bird are the same size. And they also cut out these guys here. And then I like this one too. So this is Pool Party, excuse me. And this I love, the nice birch trees with the birds. And I actually thought of, I didn't do this, but I even thought of making like a slimline card with this because I just thought because it's so linear.
Yeah.
And then I'm not really sure what plant this is supposed to be.
Well, I'm interested in what you call the plant on the next one.
This one I would call pussy willows.
That's what I call it. We don't see pussy willow here in anywhere near me, but I grew up with pussy willow, and it just seems to have disappeared completely. I grew up no laughter in Toowoomba, which is a cold climate for us, and we had pussy willow growing up, but nobody grows it anymore.
So we have it kind of in the wetlands because they really like to keep their roots wet. And so along a lot of our paths, we have it. So I actually go and cut it. And so I have it. But for us, pussy willows are a spring plant. So to me, to have these pussy willows in this winter paper is a little strange. But anyways, it's nice. And then that's just, I wish this, it's not, but I thought it would be really cute if they were more bird footprints.
Yeah,
they kind of look
like planes, but I don't think they are.
And then more pussy willows.
Yeah.
And then the birch. All right, so are you ready? We have more people. Yeah, we definitely have more people watching. Kirsty,
I am ready.
Saying hi. Sharon saying hi. All right, good. So I'm going to put it over to your desk. There we go.
Sorry, now Sharon's just corrected me and said I was exaggerating when I said under exaggerating, that there were only 10 houses because really there's 14. I'm sorry, Sharon. My stats were wrong.
50% more.
Yeah, I know. And hello to Kathy, and hello to Myrtle, and hello to Kirsty.
Excellent. All right. So what are you making? I'm curious.
Well, I'm going to show you what I'm not making.
Okay, that works too.
So these are the two designs, and I made other versions of these, but for my Facebook Lives, which are on Wednesday night here in Australia at 7 p.m. But I love this suite, and so I've already used it twice in different, not so much different ways as far as cards go, but certainly a little stepped up. So this is the first one. So it's an easy step card. So if you can see how that works, and that's what it looks like. So these birds have been die cut from the paper.
Are you reading the comment?
No, I'm not. But my computer just said it's about to turn off. That's why I came to extra. I don't think that is right, but we will see. If you lose my face, you know you do have at least my screen. So
right now we're just looking at your desk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is one of the cards that I did, and I really like it. So it stands up. It looks a little better when it stands up that way.
It's a great live. I watched it if anyone wants
Yeah,
to watch
so
it.
that one. And then the other one I did is called the pop-up window card. So this kind of pops up, and then when you open it up, you can see how 3D it is.
Oh, that's great.
Right?
And it's
so
just
this is the perfect stamp set for all these kind of cute cards. So that's why I've used that. Now, today, let's show you what I am making. Oh, no, I've got one more what I'm not making today, but I am really making this. So I decided to do a bridge card. So really simple card. I've added, a few little additions just to step it up a little bit. I've got all the measurements, but as I couldn't get it to print no matter what I did, but I will be able to download that to Christine as soon as we finish. So this is one card. Now, they're both bridge cards. One, I just changed up the measurements because the paper demanded, and you actually touched on it before. This is the card I'm actually going to be making. So
I love it.
I made it taller, so it's 5.5 inches tall. Now, what that then turns this card into is a square card. So you need a 6x6 envelope, which I get if you're in Australia from Officeworks. They're cheap as chips. But
I'm so
you don't
cheap.
You don't have that saying?
We don't have cheap chips, no.
We probably don't either, but maybe once in our history we did. So anyway, that's our saying, cheap as chips. You must see that on Bluey, don't you?
I haven't watched Bluey since Hope went to school. I can't watch it by myself.
What she really means to say, just in case there's any confusion, Hope went to college.
Right.
Otherwise, they'll think you have a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old.
Yep.
Yes, no. So I'm going to just show you how to do this. I fell in love with this color tone. And as you see, I like the other color tone in this suite. Love it. But this is neutral, and whilst we're coming into spring.
Wait till you see what I'm making.
Oh.
That's just a tease with the color tone.
Yeah. I just love this color tone. So I've kept it very neutral, but it still pops. And so it's not a Christmas theme, and I'm desperately looking for thank you cards at the moment. So let's get started. So I've got a box of stuff here, as always. I'll just put this over here, bring my box over so I'm not unpack stuff. Hopefully I've got everything here to unpack.
As you're unpacking, I want to say hi, Debbie. Debbie joined us. And if anyone else joins us, just say hi to us and let us know that you're watching. And Sharon says, you girls make me laugh. We make each other laugh all the time.
Well, I was about to say that as well. So, so this is my 6x6 envelopes that I'll be using. So I always have some on hand because sometimes I just want to make a bigger card. Now, I can put most of this out of the way just a smidgen. I'll throw those gently over there and let's get started. So my card base, as I said, I was intending to print all this up, but that hasn't worked. So I'm grabbing my paper trimmer. It's got a scorer on it. And my card base is 8 inches by 5.5 inches for this card. Now, on my measurements, I give you the measurements for both cards. This is what we would call a standard bridge fold card. Fits into our Stampin' Up envelopes. So it's a 4 1/8 inches by 8 inches. Now, let's get started. So I'm going off my memory, so you can trust me. So it's 1 1/4 inches score line, and then 2.5 inches. And I do need to do this first one just a smidgen more. Do you use the word smidgen, Christine?
We have it. I don't know if I use it that often. I might use tiny.
As you see, I use smidgen all the time. I know. So I'm doing 1/4 of an inch. Sorry, 1 1/4 inches and 2.5 inches on both ends. So I just spun it around. Get rid of that a little bit, and then I'm going to fold in and back, and I'm going to grab my bone folder. I'm probably going to have to measure these because I didn't cut them all out because I wanted to show you a quick way of doing this. So there you can see there's the base of the card. Then I've got my black. Now I like having the black to make this pop. Without the black, that colour onto the grey granite would have been a little flat. So the black makes it pop. And I'm going to have to pull up my measurements. So tell me. And of course they won't pop up when I've got StreamYard going. Who would have guessed, hey?
Can you just measure your other card? That's what I do.
Yeah, wait a minute. It's finally popped up. I don't know what's happening with my technology today. Anyway, I can't see what's on my screen, so let me know if it's not working. So this is my cardstock, which is basic black, and it is 6 7/8 inches by 5 1/4. All right. So I'm going to, so the 5 1/4 is down here. So keeping the 6 7/8 at the top, I'm going to be cutting 4 1-inch strips, which is why I gave you the overall, because it's easier to cut 4 1-inch strips from a big piece.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, you can keep finding 1-inch strips throughout your stash if you've got lots of time, but you don't want to watch me go through a bucket load of black. All right, and then my remaining piece, with a bit of luck, should be 2 3/4. Well, obviously I can't add up, so I just got to cut a little bit off, but that's okay. You get the idea. So then let me pull back this piece here. So that goes in there. This goes here. One goes in there. This goes here and there. So let's assemble it off the card. It makes it a little easier. Now, this piece I'm also cutting because if I bring back this piece here, I'll just make a bit of room here. You will see I've got the same paper there and there. Now, when you're doing bridge fold cards, or when I'm doing bridge fold cards, I like to see normally a little bit of contrast, like light, dark in there, or so you get those contours. But this one I've kept all on the one tone because that's what the card is all about. So this time I've got a piece of 5 1/8. So remember, when you're cutting directional paper for this card in particular, you've got the direction going right, because you don't want to be cutting, your strips like that and having those poor birch trees growing sideways. There's not that much wind. I'm going to cut it into 7/8. So I'm doing 2 7/8 off because I want that nice. I'll just bring this back. I think I can collapse this just a little bit. And I can back see. So I'm cutting down to 7/8. Push that up a little bit so you can see where that is. Now I'm going to do on each side because then that lets that seam flow across. Mind you, I just cut a head of a bird off. That doesn't sound nice. Anyway, we're going to pretend that I didn't do that. I know. So this I must have cut. What's happened here? I obviously can't add up. So this should be 2 3/4, 2 3/8. Oh, it's about ½ inch too short. So I'm just going to grab. I got plenty of this paper. And look, I've got a piece right here. So you know that theory I just said about. So this should be. Oh, I've already cut it. Right. So I'm just going to put that back for a second. I'm going to add these on, make sure they're. I've got some glue here. Now, everybody's still laughing at me at the amount of glue I use, Christine, all because you started that rumour that I
so
may use
sorry.
more glue than other people.
That's okay.
Mind you, it's running out. And they laugh at me now. And dimensionals.
Oh, let's not laugh at you. We just
having fun with me.
It's not going anywhere.
Now I get the comment all the time. Are dimensionals on sale then? I go,
Oh.
It's okay. I am using more than I ever have, but I think now it's just part of my nature. I've started doing it.
I do know some other people who use even more than
A lot
you
more.
do.
I was going to say I'm compared to some.
Yeah. So probably people think I'm stingy, maybe, but I think
I wouldn't
two
say
usually
that,
does
Christine.
it.
I would not say that. That would be inappropriate of me. So you can see these pieces are going to go here. All right. Now, I've got these pieces, which I've obviously already cut out, which I've actually embossed to just give it a little bit more texture.
Nice.
Which, to be honest, it's a bit of an overkill, but I think it does look so much nicer. But if you didn't do it, nobody would notice. Well, we've got the birchwood embossing folder. And I love that texture. I've used it a fair bit, whether I use it as wood or just as some texture on a card. Not, as I said, not necessarily wood finish. So I've got this. Let's get it off the black so I can actually see how this is going to look. Right, so there's my pieces. So that's going to go in here. Now, when I cut the birch, because this pattern on that grey granite is going, don't worry about the tree trunks, but that background pattern, which is what matches this, goes sideways. So I've kept it sideways. Not sure it matters, but it did to me. Anyway, so this piece is going to be, this is 2 3/4, so I need to cut it. Let's just go 2 3/4. So it's going to be 2 3/8. I think that's right. Let's hope it is. Let's slide it gently into this card without panicking. Perfect. Except that was already right. Oh my goodness, what is happening? That was the wrong piece. This is why I have a spare piece.
We have an expression here in.
Yes, I have a number of expressions here in Australia, but none of them I should be using at this moment.
This one I can use. This one I can. We have a show called This Old House.
Yep.
And it's, it's pretty self-explanatory, but there's an expression, measure twice, cut once.
Yes, we do have that.
We even have it on a coffee mug.
Hopefully, let's see If a professional card maker can get it right on the third attempt. Except I just need to trim it down. That's okay.
So as you're doing that, I'm going to say hello to Mary Lou, who joined us. And Carol says she does use the word smidgen when she's cutting. And
Yes.
Sharon says, Barry is laughing at you too, Annie.
Yes. Well, what I've now done is trimmed all the pieces wrong.
That's what I was wondering. Okay, that's all right.
But let's just see if
You know what? Oh, I wonder, Anne, could you just shimmy it up to the top, because the bottom we don't see too much because you have your cross planted.
Oh,
Thank
good
you.
idea, Christine. Thank you, Christine.
You're welcome.
This is because I can't see the measurements, and I did.
Right.
Let's be honest, I did not remember the 40 measurements in this thing off my head, and because I couldn't print it up and I couldn't see them, it got a little out of control there.
Now,
that's
you're all right. I was getting mixed up. That's your cross. Okay.
I know.
So your birch was going in the
I
wrong
got
direction.
so many pieces here. Audio. So I'm just going to stick this together, and that tip about shimmering, can't even say that word. What's the word? Shimmy it up.
Shimmy, yeah.
Shimmy it up. Righto.
Carol says, thank you, Anne, for keeping it real.
Well, thank you for acknowledging that, but I don't like it to keep it this real. A little real is okay. This real is just, I don't want to say stressful, but frustrating. Can I just say that? As I said, I tried to print up the thing so I could actually tell you, and then oh goodness me, this is going to be the blooper series for Christmas of how to make a card.
You can send this one to me. That's what I always say. I say, Mom, you're getting this card. My mom will love any card I send.
Well, US Post won't like this card. They'll send it back to me like they have all their other cards.
Did you just see what Mary Lou wrote?
Did you just see what I did?
See what Mary Lou wrote?
No, I didn't. Is the letter? Oh, I didn't. But I did just then. Thank you, Mary Lou, but I did pick that up. But that was very easy to pick. But look, can I just, pretend that I'm doing this on purpose so that everybody who makes mistakes will feel more comfortable? Will that work, Christine?
Next time you make a mistake, just say, oh, I'm just like Anne.
So look, I don't want to say too much, but it's nearly looking okay. I think when we get to the end of it,
no one will ever know.
No one will ever know unless they watch this video. Right. And then it will be how many bloopers can we make? I bet I win that today. Ideo. So there's the.
It might be a competition, but I don't think I want to win that one.
No, I don't want to win it either, but I'm just going to accept that that's where I'm at. So there's the card, you can see. So all I now have to do to hold this together, and I think I threw this piece away 5 minutes ago. So there's I know, I'm just kind of going, how could I throw that?
You can't be far because I saw you put it together.
I know I did. And I just chucked it over here.
All right. As you're looking, Debbie
Yeah,
says, well, Mary Lou
yeah.
first says, I like how you're keeping us on our toes and paying attention. So that's good. It was a test.
It
And
was a test. Thank you, Mary Lou.
well, I said it was a test, not Mary Lou. But
Oh,
Debbie says, you are both now working with the Nessa Winter collection, and it's it's so unreal that the current temperature is now 85 degrees Fahrenheit, which is summerish for us.
I'm actually going to sit. This is my piece. My black piece
Did you find
is
it?
no, of course I didn't. My black piece is here, but
Is
I
it stuck?
cannot.
Wait, just flip your cards upside down in case it's stuck, because
No.
you had glue everywhere.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Christine, that's a little harsh. A little harsh.
Well,
But
I meant you were gluing and sticking, and everything was sticking and.
oh, wait a minute. Would it be the one I threw to the other side of the room? Would it be this
Yeah,
one?
that's it.
Not that I had a little temper tantrum, but not that I did actually. I'm still laughing because that's what card making is about, to be honest. Now I'm now going to put this together. So this is what we call the bridge piece. All right. So it holds this kind of together. Now I could, if I wanted to, I could actually put this and use a window sheet, and so it's clear, and then you can even create a bigger scene. But I like this paper a lot, and I have a stamp set here that says thank you. I've just decided, you know how I threw my cat out the door? On the way out, she said, I will get her back and I will swap everything around, make sure nothing works. And so I'm going to blame Kiko. I'm not sure that's fair to Kiko, but at this stage, it's either me or her. So I'm looking for thank you cards. You could make this card a happy birthday. And what I liked, I could actually just stamp directly onto this designer series paper. Some you'd have to add a sentiment block. Now, onto the back of this card, I have going to put this on. And again, I'm just going to be using another thank you. Obviously, I'm very thankful today. I'm pretending. Gratitude for being forced to be extraordinarily humble. Maybe that's it. So I will stick this on. Now I could decorate this as much as I liked. Now I've got a little note on the back of my grey granite where you still get 2 of these card bases out of your A4 or your letter size cardstock sheet. So there we go. So this is where you can write your sentiment, your story, your greeting, or whatever you like. So this is going to sit on here, but I've got 2 more things to do, and they're really, really for anybody who actually is an artist. Look away now, because I'm not an artist. What I do is colour and make it look quick and easy. That's how that works. So you can see I've done a bit of colouring here.
I thought you cut that one out of the paper.
Oh, thank you, Christine. My reputation needs a little bit of a boost at this stage after, a little bit of a debacle. Yeah, I'm just pulling some cardstock through. So I've got 2. I've already stamped the little bird, and I'm going to stamp and colour the wreath. Love this wreath. Now you can add a top to the wreath, so a second piece, and it actually turns into a pretty close to a circle. Idea. So let's go. I'm going to show you quick and easy. If you're not an artist, this is what you can do. I've just got to grab one more colour. I put away what I packed up. So my colours are pumpkin pie, grey granite. I don't need the colour lifter yet. That's just if Kiko has also sabotaged my inks. And I've got pecan pie. Is there such a thing as copper clay blends? I don't
Yes,
have it.
there
Yeah,
is.
well, I don't have it, I'll find it somewhere in my house now, but I couldn't find it. So I've used pecan pie because it's a similar toning.
It's probably
And
hiding with my boho blue that I've seemed to lost.
and Misty Moonlight. So that's my one splash of colour with the Daffodil Delight. So let's get going. You're going to see, I'm hardly going to talk this through because it's so simple what I am doing. I kept to the same colour scheme. So the little berries I've done in yellow. So I wanted something to pop, and some of my birds were yellow. None of those birds on that card though, but on that first round, they were. So I've done the berries. You can see there's no artistic capacity here. And I'm just adding a little bit of pumpkin pie.
Hey, Anne.
Yes.
Do I see a customized label on your marker
Um,
on the tip?
like there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. There. Yes, I do. Aren't
Wow.
they good? Oh, would that help you, Christine?
I just put I take a Sharpie mark and put a black dot so I know that's
Ooh.
the dark, and then the light
Right.
is plain.
They've all got their little name on, whether they're light,
Wow.
pecan pie light. I might be able to share my thing with you.
Okay.
I know. Now I'm going to be using the grey granite. Oh no, I'm going to be using the pecan pie. I'm just doing light. So no artistic ability again. But it turns out really nice. And you'll see, even when the professionals do it, they leave little white bits as basically a little bit more contrast. But if I had to sit here and colour when you have no great capacity to do it, I'd be pretty unhappy. I'm
Mary
just
Lou
going
says, your stickers on the blender pens are very artistic.
It's pretty bad when that's the only thing we can comment on. This has gone fairly ordinary, but I'm hanging in.
Anne is very organized and label conscious when she discovered at my house I am not.
So I'm using the light grey granite. Oops, I missed one there. Of these little hooers. Do you have little hooers in your
I don't
vocabulary?
think so. Nope.
Ah, rightio. This is like the
The language game.
language game.
I'll have to think of some expressions that we have. I think you use more expressions than we do.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But I think also when Kiko has hidden everything I need today, including my creative capacity, she'll be so proud of herself. More words come out that perhaps you've never heard before.
I see.
And I've just got to restrain myself that we don't hear any more words.
Because we're live.
We're live. Adios. So there we go. So there's the wreath. And you can
Nice.
see
I
it's
like
turned out really
colors.
pretty. Now, I've already done one of those, so I didn't have to die cut today. And then, so here's the other one that I did, which is exactly the same. So let's show you how I did the bird. And I'll bring this back so you can just see. Oh, I do need the other. Oh, it won't matter. I wouldn't want anyone to doubt my creative ability today.
Mary Lou just gave you a very nice compliment.
Yes.
She said, I think you are artistic because you do a great job designing and creating.
Thank you, Mary Lou. I need a little bit after today. Now,
Oh, and she also said, hold on. She also said your stickers on the blender pens are very artistic. Oh, did I? Oh, I wrote that before. Okay, said that before. Now I'm getting all mixed up.
Now, you see, I'm not doing anything flash here. Anybody, look, to be honest, a grade 1 could do the colouring that I do.
I love to color. I could get lost in coloring.
See, I mean, I like doing it quick and easy, but anything more than quick and easy isn't my scene. So now I'm just adding some grey granite, which must be this one here. Now, how did I decide I was going to use these colours and do these colours? You've got to let these dry. Don't judge them yet. Got to let them dry and blend a little bit. But how did I decide? I looked at the designer series paper that gave me this idea. And there's a little bird that just looks like this. Now, on this one, I stole the bird from the country birdhouse because it was the right size.
Oh, yep.
But if I wanted to, I could have fussy cut one out of that paper that you really like. The
one with the pine
size.
cones.
Yeah, this one. I didn't have fussy cutting in me, so I didn't do that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of dark. So that was light. So I'm going to add a little bit of darker colour down here because he's underneath. And then blend this back. Now this one, you can see I am doing a little bit of blending.
It's addictive.
I just can't wait to finish this project though, Christine. I've got to be honest.
Well, I love it. I really do.
Now I'm going to go back to exactly the same colour berries. And the beak I've chosen to do, which was an artistic difference to the paper. So I want to do a purple, orange, that would be. I'll add some little orange feet. And there she is. So she's very cute, this bird. Now, how did I then put her together? So the way I will actually put the bridge in place, and you can do this two ways. So you can either write and have one folded in and one straight, or the left one folded in and the other one straight. So you need one flat here and one actually with the fold, and that's what lets this go in an envelope. So I'm going to grab some, because there's a bit of pressure on this, and on this one I'm going to be, this one I put dead flat, which I really like, so it lines up at the bottom like that. But this picture looks better with it up a little bit. So let's go grab this, and there's my tape. So I'll just decide, let's just turn this around, Mary Lou, because I know you were trying to capture, you were trying to trick me again. So about there works for me. Yep. So all I'm going to do is put 3 little strips. Where's my... Oops. I'm sure 3 is a slight overkill, but it works. You could use the multi-purpose glue if you wanted to, but I wanted to be super sure that this was going to stick no matter what. Then on this side, I'm going to do exactly the same, about the same spot, hopefully.
You're clever to use your ruler instead of your fingers to tear the tape.
Well, for me, it's a little easier. And I saw someone else do that, Christine, too. I think you do it, don't you?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
So,
I use scissors sometimes, but
I
no, I've never
sometimes
used a
use...
ruler.
I know. Well, if it's got a sharp edge, it works really well. So to make my tape, because it's been around for a little while, I always burnish it. I'll grab, as I say, a pokey tool, which is a take a pick tool. Sometimes when the tape, I've got some really old tape here floating around because I have about 5 different lots of tape going at one time probably. Some of it's a bit old and it doesn't separate as easy as I would like. So then we're just going to stick this on. So I'll get it straight on my grid paper. Mary Lou,
So, can I give you a suggestion? May I give you a suggestion?
If you wish.
Do you see your clear block to your right, by your right hand? Take that clear block and put it on top of the card so it stays closed.
Look at that tip. That's a great tip.
Thank you.
I think I need a bigger tip. Not a bigger tip, sorry.
A bigger block.
That was very rude of me. I meant block. Oh, this one. This one's got a bit of weight in it.
I do that a lot with when I'm trying to put ribbon down and stuff too. It helps.
I've never done this. So Mary Lou says, nice catch.
Yep.
After today, there hasn't been too much catching. And I didn't pay a lot of attention to what I just did then. I was reading this. So here's the page as it is now. So let's add the bird. And I've got this just to add a little bit more to hold it up.
It ties the whole thing together.
Yeah. But it also gives a bit more support.
Yeah.
So the first bit that I put on was this here. And what I did find is you need to drop it down just a smidgen so that you got a lot to glue on. Otherwise, it kind of flops a little bit. And I have to go back a second time and add a little bit to it. Now, so I think you could, you easily could put it together off. I need to get this lined up off the page and then add it. But I've got some adding to the back and some adding to the front. Because he doesn't kind of sit like that. It gets he could, but you'll lose a bit. I liked him sitting and hiding just back there a little bit for me. And then I added him back again. It was just easier for me to line up. But everybody has a different way of how they would work with this. Now, there we go. Then I'm going to add my little circle, which is cut out from the Everyday Details dies, which is some of my favorite. See, this just adds that little bit of, no, I can't do that. Let's just see where I need to add some glue. A little bit down there. And just make sure that's where I want that to be. Why is everything a hers all of a sudden? Where I want this little thing. Anyway, so there's the card. Not done without a little bit of drama. But isn't that what life is about? Adding a bit of drama to life? Anyway, so this is the card I just made. As you see, it's turned out.
I love it.
Despite those little challenges that I had, it's turned out pretty good. And that designer series paper just makes it pop. And this is the smaller version. But I've got to say, I was going to make this one, but then I like this size so much better.
I love it.
Yep. And I could easily decorate the envelopes with something as well. So Christine, I'm now going to tag you to share your project, and I wish you better luck than what I had.
So I want everyone to look at Anne's project and keep some of those elements in mind as I show you one of mine. Now remember, we do not share what we do ahead of time. All right. So, but first, I'm going to show you a few extra samples, and then I'll get into what I'm doing. So,
these are pretty.
Way at the beginning, we had mentioned that demonstrators were able to attend a event. It was called Creativity Now, and it focused on this bundle, or not bundle, but the whole suite. So I attended, and so these are all but one of them are samples or cards we made at that event. So this one we made at the event, and so these birds are actually colored in with just bronze and ivy colors, so they're, you know, not a whole lot of color, but and then I made another one, and this is actually cut out from the designer series paper, but it's the same, you know, the same birds and everything, and then I just added some of that birch wood on the back. So this was one of them, and then I made that one. And this one I wanted to show you. I almost did this one as my demonstration today because it's kind of cool, but I'm going to show you how I did it. So in the dies, because I'm not, well, let's see. So you get the bird cut out, you get the little garland cut out, you get some leaves and stuff, but you also get this piece that does, it's like a frame with some, not twigs, but sprigs or I don't know, greenery. So I just have this stuck to it just so I know that when I want to use this, it's 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. So when you cut it out, you get, actually I'll show you this one first. When you cut it out, you get a negative and a positive. So this would be the positive that most people are going to use in the in whatever you're making the card. Yeah, this is exactly what they showed us. I didn't change this at all. And they also, well, this one is done with watercolor pencils, but not much coloring. And then we did blue leaves, so a little different. So you don't have, you know, you don't have to do exactly what nature shows. But when you cut it out, you get, you know, you get 2 pieces. So this is the negative piece, but you can use this, you can use this negative piece because you can put it on white. You can use a blender brush and color all the way around. And then you can take this piece and flip it 180 degrees and take your blending brush again and color it around. And then you get this kind of two-toned piece. So that was done with using the negative piece to color.
Yep, I like that.
So it's kind of cool. And then this one was just stamped on, I think it was smoky slate, and just little light colored with the pencils. And then these two are almost identical. And these are done, I cut these birds out with scissors. So from the paper, it's pretty easy to cut, and I think it's fine. You could just keep white on the outside. This one was done, the frame piece was cut on white just like this one, but we just took blends markers and colored it in. So that's another option. And then
Those
this
birds are
one,
so cute.
yeah, we did this as a club project. So almost the same card. I just changed it because I like the Blackberry Bliss. And it might be hard to see, but there's the birch background in there. So yeah, so that was kind of the Creativity Now samples. And I'll show you
How
a few more.
nice.
Yeah, it was fun. And so I just wanted to show you this paper. Stampin' Up's been doing a lot of like this type of paper where you can just like cut it in half and then cut it into thirds, right, at 4 inches, and you get really a background. And so these are actually, I flipped. So this is the same as this. So when you cut it out, you can just have backgrounds. But look at how easy and beautiful this is. Oops, my ribbons should be that way. And it's all almost the same card. I just had to, depending on where the birds were, I just placed the little greeting in a different place. So those are easy cards to do, which is sometimes just what you want. Okay, so let's get started here. So I did an event in person 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, and we did different things. And so one of the projects we did was to make notebooks. So this was done with the zinnias paper, and we call these junior legal pads. I'm sure you have them too. And so they're fun to make, they're easy to make, and they make a great gift. So I thought, let's make them with this paper. So remember I said the color scheme? And so I have 2 to show you, and then I'm going to make a third one with different paper. So this is that same paper that Anne used, and look, I used the birch in that same direction that you did as a background. I cut out the birds. This is the paper, and I used the die to cut it out. I did emboss just a little note, and that's from the penciled pear set that I like, but I love just a little note. And then it's just a notebook. And I have this in here in case you wanted like a little inside pocket. You can even put down a clear envelope so you could put some papers inside, or you could even put cardstock there if you wanted. So that's one version. And a second version, go ahead.
Mary Lou's saying, wow, you two are on the same wavelength. Awesome. I didn't think we would be today.
I know. It's funny. It happens more than it doesn't. So this one is, this is the other bird that you can cut out from the paper with the die. And I also used the gray circle because I thought it needed something to tie it all together. And then that's the inside of the book. And then I'm going to also show you, you can also make pens, and you can use the paper to put inside the pen. So I'll show you that as well.
And they're the RSVP pens, Christine?
Yep, they're these ones, the Pentel RSVP. Yeah. So I'll show you that at the end. All right, so like I said, these are junior legal pads. I can show you, they are 5 inches, I think, by 8, either 8 or 8.5. So I'm going to use for this particular one, I did gray granite base on this one. I did basic gray on that one. And because the zinnias ones I did really bright, but I thought for this one, I wanted it a little bit muted. And so I'm using, even though this particular color is not part of the paper pack, it's Pebbled Path, but it kind of has that, you'll see in a second with the paper I chose. I don't want to drop these. Okay, so all my papers here. So you can kind of see like the paper, it just cuts the bird out. So that's the paper I used. Oh yeah, and I already mentioned this way at the beginning, but for those in the United States, the natural tones linen thread that goes with this paper is currently on back order, but should be back the week of October 14th. And then the stamp set and dies bundle is low inventory. All right, so we're going to use this paper. So each one is different. So let's get our trimmer. And so the base for the notebook is just one whole sheet of cardstock, so the 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to score it, holding in the landscape direction. I'm going to score it at 5 3/8. And then 5 5/8. So you have that 1/4 inch kind of little seam there in the middle. So we'll fold that in half. And then I'm going to cut. So you have options, but I'm going to show you what I did. But you have options of size-wise. But I am doing 5 1/8 by 7. And you could pick. I'm just going to actually not. I'm just going to take the top. I'm not going to choose. There it is. So 5 1/8 by 7. So that
you
is.
Just cut a head off a bird.
Did I? Oh, that was already cut. So you can see that the paper is too short, but that's done with purpose. So we are going to, because I have this diagonal cut, and so we're going to put our little greeting in the middle here. So I'm going to just tilt my paper and make sure I don't cut a head of a bird off. So it doesn't really matter. You can kind of gauge whatever diagonal it is, but I'm going to, we can cut that one in half, but we don't cut the bird's head off. So I didn't really measure it. I just kind of cut that on the diagonal.
Now, I'm not sure how to pronounce pa. I'm going to say moa.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So I apologize for. I'm sure I've got it wrong, but she goes, oh.
Okay. They're new to me. Excuse me, it's a name I haven't recognized. So welcome. This must be your first time watching. So thank you and welcome for watching. All right. So I'm just burnishing those 4 lines. I can hear Kiko trying to get the birds.
Well, she has calmed down. She was trying to. I have locked the door and put a thing against it. However, she was nearly getting through in the early parts of that video.
Oh, that's funny. All right. So I thought the pebble path actually looked really nice with the chickadee, the coloring.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So this goes like this and that goes like that. So again, you have more options. So I have some strips here I cut. So you can put, I haven't decided which color I'm doing. So you can do like little edging. You can do we're going to start with this one and we'll see. So I'm just going to put a little glue on that diagonal and then glue it onto that little strip. These are just like 1/2 inch strips. And I'll show you again the notebooks because I did them all each a little bit different. So you, depending on how thick you make this border here will determine if you have 1 or 2. I'll make this one kind of thin. So
it's such a neat trick to show you how to cut on the diagonal.
Yeah, and so like you don't have to even measure or pay attention. Yeah. Trying to decide if I want to have that green or if I want to do blue. So let's see. Let's get these pieces out. So I have a circle here, and I'm going to use these guys. I think the green's going to be too busy. And then I have alphabet. So this one I showed you, I embossed the just a note. And then this one, I used my letters and wrote notes. So I'm going to use my letters on this one. And I already kind of cut them. I used the, take them apart, the alphabet, the mini alphabet dies. And I already, because I think I've showed it before, but I put adhesive strips on one side of the pool party paper and then put this on here. And I just write on here, I always want it to be 3 by 5.5 because then that does one whole sheet. and I run it through my machine, and then I got all these letters that have sticky on the back. So I'm going to do those. All right. So what we're going to do is kind of first trim our edges just with scissors. Like that. And then I'm going to put that directly on the notebook, the cover. I think these books make great gifts. And I mean, I use them all the time myself, but I think they also make great gifts. That I did not cut straight.
Kiko.
So now what I'm going to do is actually, I'm kind of doing each section so I make sure I have enough room. So I'm going to pop out my letters. O-T. Yes. Now, if you wanted to customize this and write somebody's name on here, you could do that. My name is a little bit long, but yours would be perfect. It's shorter.
And it's got double N's in it, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes, it does. So
it
that's
does.
even better.
I'm going to actually start backwards. I'm going to start my letters going backwards because that way I know, like if I just was guessing, I could run out of room. But if you start with the last letter first, you won't run out of room.
So Mary Lou says, I've made these notebooks for my knitting group and book clubs. The neutral cardstock really highlights the DSP. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
I repeated my words of love it, but she definitely had one. I stuttered a little bit.
You got all excited.
I didn't want anyone to think I exaggerate or under exaggerate, Sharon.
Oh, of course, now I can't get this off. They're generally easy to get off, but of course. There we go. I find tweezers are definitely helpful for putting them down. I like the pool party with the pebbled path color combination. I hadn't used
lovely.
it before, but I like it. Yeah, I'll be doing it again.
I was going to say I haven't used Pebble Path much.
Oh, I love pebble bath. It's going to be gone this spring or our spring in April. I love pebble bath.
Ooh,
all right,
will be too.
Yep. So that's why I have notes there. So now I can kind of say, okay, do I have enough room here? I do. If I wanted a second border, so this one, because I made this a little thicker, I didn't have enough room. So I just had one. But if you still wanted two, you could just trim off the bottom. That way the diagonal's still in place. You could just trim the bottom, which is why I hadn't glued it yet in case I needed to trim it. But
I love that trick because then it takes away any of that fine work. You've got kind of really easy fix to make it work, like to make it fit no matter how you've done it.
Exactly.
Love that.
Oh, good. So I do have enough room for that. You could even, like, I don't know if I might went on crooked. Well, that's all right, it'll be covered. If you were making like little party gifts, I know when my daughter was little, birthday parties, we made nice little party favors for everybody. And so you could make a little notebook for everyone and write their names on there. Or, any other kind of fun word. All right. So now we're going to put this on here. And little birds. And I was going to use, I did cut out the birch to do that again, but I think it's, I think it's my, I think it's going to be too busy
Yeah.
because this is a lot. So I think this breaks it up. Just
Yeah.
having, this is gray granite. So I'll just put a little glue.
That's a lot of glue, Christine.
I know, I think I used too much. And I am making sure that that branch just goes to the end so it looks like, you know, it was cut off on purpose. And then I will use dimensionals to pop that up. Look at, I used 4 on this one. It is raining here. I know you said earlier to me that it was raining where you are. It's raining here as well. It's coming down pretty good.
It's now fine here. It's fined up because I put all my plants out in the rain. Now they're getting burnt to a crisp. But that's,
all
they'll
right. So
survive.
there's the front cover. So on the inside, we have our notebook. And so I have a piece, it's 5 by 2. So this is just going to cover, because that's ugly. So we want to cover it. So 5 by 2 is just easy to remember. If you want it to be exact, you can do 4 in 15th, 16ths. Just take a smidge off, but I think it's fine. So I'm just going to leave it there because you can't even tell that. Well, I guess you can. You can kind of see that overhang, but it's okay. The other thing is, I think it was on this one. So rather than putting this, I was putting them exactly to cover up that navy strip. But if you actually want to overhang it a little bit, because I actually tore a piece off, the front page was wrinkled, and you can kind of, I don't know if you can see, but you can kind of see where the perforation is. So if you overhang this just a little bit, it will cover the, when you rip off the paper as you use your notebook. That's just finicky stuff. But so I'm using the tear and tape. And I have used the glue on this too, but this is just a little bit faster for the video. All right, so I am going to let it overhang just a little bit. And then I just round it over and then put the tear and tape on the paper. Like that. And then you could use tear and tape again, but for now I'm just going to use glue. And I do use more glue than I do on cards because it's a notebook and it's going to be, you know, handled a lot. So that's a lot of glue, Anne. Look at that.
I would have added more, but you know, I'm supporting my business.
And then I'm just going to stick that down.
Oops.
So there's our notebook. And then for the pen, grab a pen. So yeah, these are, they sell them singles, doubles, packs of 5, but I made it, I don't know, something like,
And
so I
if
bought
you're
a
in
whole box on them.
Australia, they're hard to get unless you order online from Amazon.
That's where
But
I got
they're
these
easy
boxes.
from Amazon, but from other stores, even like Officeworks, they're hard to get.
Yeah, but I lost my piece of, oh, here it is. Okay, so for the pen, I find 3 1/4 by 1 1/2. So you want some sort of pattern that is not big because, you know, the pen is little. So we need a little kind of, and I think geometric patterns work pretty well. So I'm just going to screw this or unscrew that. Take the ink pad or the, what do you call it, the ink part out. I'm going to actually get my bone folder and just give it a little curl the paper because it helps soften the paper. It makes it easier to roll. And I'm actually just going to roll it right along the ink barrel. Oops. Sorry, that just pops off. and you want it tight. So you may have to like roll it a couple times. I've done these so many times that I usually just roll it once and I'm good. But you see how that's like really tight? And then what I do is you're going to stick it back in here, but I use where the words are is where I put the seam, because then you won't really see the seam because the words are in the way. And then I find my tweezers and then I just push this down just a little bit like that. And then that just gets screwed in. So I also found, I don't know if it's because it's the box of the pens, but you have this little code here. I don't know if the single ones, I don't remember them on here. I just peel that off because I think you don't really need that barcode on your pen. It's a little sticky, but that will go away. So now you have a nice little stationery, a pen, and a notebook. I'll show you all three.
Looks fabulous. I love these.
Yeah, but I laughed because your card was so similar to this. Yeah. So there we go. So let me put us, the four screens back on. Okay, there we go. Oh, and I wore my special new shirt. I didn't make a card, but this shirt was gifted to me and it's so nice. So I'm making its debut tonight.
Did you see my face just there?
I did.
It was full of jealousy, not anything else. Not jealousy. That's not right. You know what I mean? It was,
Envy.
I love those shirts so much.
No, it was gifted to me and I love it. So Val gave it to me, my upline. So it's very nice.
It's beautiful.
So let's see. We have a few things to mention, right? Before we say goodbye.
Yes, we do. So, I will do. Which one do you want to pick, Christine?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Just give me one of them.
I know. Do you want to do the sign up?
Sure.
Right out. Well, sure. I'll do the. Sure. Sorry, that's a
inside joke, but not so much.
Well, it's an inside joke. It's kind of like an Australian, because we don't use that word anywhere near as much.
I use it all the time, and then we elongate it. Sure.
Yes. Anyway, clearance rack was updated, I think, on Thursday, and so both for Christine's fans, my fans, there's lots in the clearance rack. Really, however, it is selling out quick in both countries. So some things have already gone. So you've missed out. So if you are interested in some amazing bargains, up to 60% off, and I think I found a couple of items that were even well over 60%.
Yeah, a lot of things.
And that were some of the good ones. Like we had ink pads, like sets of ink pads. I don't know whether you did, Christine.
We did. We had last versions of the ink colors were all on there. They had sets of markers. They had tons and tons of paper at like cheap prices. Yeah.
And some great ribbon. Look, just
tons of stuff.
So some of those little we had little gift boxes, those envelope gift boxes, which I really liked. They're only this big, but perfect for table gifts or something for Christmas, and pretty darn cheap.
Yeah, but check it out because they're while supplies last and they're going fast.
Yep, I will do the kits also starting the 1st of October. Our kits are going on sale, and
I have
actually I'm going to throw to you to show us some of your kits.
Yep, let me get to my.
However, they're up to 30% off now. Just to not so much lower expectations, but the release I'm expecting, and I haven't seen this yet. I'm expecting that some of the just released ones will be 15% off, which is still great. And some of the older ones, from a year ago, they might be 30% off.
I paid full price for this one.
I'm expecting about 15%. Look at these.
I paid full price. It's well worth it. So this is called Christmas Ornaments Kit. You get 3 different sizes. Two different. I'm just trying to get the 2 different ones. There's 3 different styles. Here we go. 3 different styles, and you make 3 of each, and they're like, you can see in my hand, like they're substantial. They're a good size. You get the pine cones. I actually thought they were real at first, but they are plastic, which makes sense because if they were real, they could disintegrate over the years, but these will not. And you have the option as you put them together. You put a tag on the, it depends on how you close it.
Ooh,
There is
yep,
a tag option, but I actually wanted the plaid on the back.
yep.
But they're so nice. They're easy to put together. I think to give this in a box as a gift itself is amazing. And so at the regular price, US dollars, it's like each ornament is like $2.78. Not expensive at all if you needed 9 gifts because there's 9 of them. But even on the sale, it's even better. So, and I
And
did a
ours would
video.
be about $5 each.
Yeah, Stampin' Up did a video. You definitely want a glue gun. It makes it easier, but don't burn your fingers. But I've given tips on how not to burn your fingers. So that's, anyways, the Christmas ornaments kit. And then
Love that.
I have this one, which actually is not put together because I haven't given it to my mother yet. I have one that's put together, and I bought this for her, and I never gave it to her. But this is it's like a wreath that you hang on your door or your wall or wherever. It's all paper, so you want it indoors. But it's really sweet. It's kind of minimalistic, but it's very sweet. So all that you need is in here as well. I think for this one, actually, glue gun would help too. But so these are I'm just looking around, 2 non-card gifts, but they have kits. They have plenty of card kits, which I don't have at the moment. But anyways, you always get a nice little box which you could reuse, or you can just kind of put pretty ribbon on it and give that as a gift. So
If
the
you want
kits are
to
great.
wait a second, if you
Mm-hmm.
want to keep talking, even if you move on to the sign up, I will go and grab. I've got all my other kits out for my
Oh, great.
catalog launch on
Okay.
Sunday.
Alrighty. So I'll put my face back on. I'm putting our faces back on, Anne. So the other thing I haven't even told anybody yet, there is a sign-on incentive for October 1st through 31st. And they've done this one before. So if you sign up for Stampin' Up as a demonstrator, and there's many different ways of being a demonstrator, from a hobbyist to kind of what Anne and I do to even beyond. You can purchase, so I'm going to give you the US price, and then Anne will give you the South Pacific price. But the normal sign-on kit, or the joining kit, the starter kit, is $99, and you get $125 worth of products if you choose what you want, and you get free shipping, and you get, for the US, you get a paper pumpkin kit, and you also get catalogs to share. But for that same $99 in October, you can choose $155 worth of products, which is just crazy. And you still get the free shipping. You still get the catalogs to share. And for the US, you still get the paper pumpkin kit. So it's a great deal. So that's for the month of October. So what are your prices, Anne?
So my prices, I'm going off the top of my head, and you've seen how well I do that with my measurements today. 230. It's $169 normally, and it's still $169. But now you are getting. I'm plucking $343. I've got in my head. So it is a great deal, and if you are at all interested in signing up for either Christine or me, if you're in Australia, it's from the 1st of October. And it's really easy. You can do it online, but you can talk to either of us beforehand if you've got any questions or whatever. Now, I've still got a couple of kits I can show you.
Yep,
Because I've
and
got
there's
some different ones.
lots
Sorry.
of more. I just want to say there's many more perks for signing up than just getting all these products. Like, you get access to exclusive Facebook pages from Stampin' Up. And you get emails once a week. You can pre-order things. You get
Exclusive events.
Yes, thank you. And so, plus you get community, like a whole huge community of people. And then you'll be on our teams, and you can do things that way. So there's lots of things. My earbuds are just about to die. So I'm going to take them out in a second, but let me put on your screen. There we go.
And I was
Okay.
going to say, and you get to work with other people like Christine. So
Yeah.
now this is the, I just took the name of it out and put it somewhere out of the way. But anyway,
It should be
oh,
on
here
the
it is.
direct.
Here it is. No, the Christmas wishes list. So it actually comes with an ink spot, which most of our all-inclusive kits now do. It's got this really nice stamp set, and it's a Christmas one. So it's got wishes, Christmas, but it also has this one, which I really like, this in nice font. May whatever brings you love and joy be yours this season and throughout the new year. I will be using that on lots of my Christmas cards. And a more generic, so not Christmas. This has got a Blackberry Bliss ink pad.
I've made this one.
Of kindness.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful kit. I have it.
Yeah. And you don't need a box. It is really, really nice. It has been a really, really popular one.
Yeah, it's all watercolored. It's a beautiful.
And there's a travel diary as well, which I do have, but I won't share. Now, I am sharing this to say this is not included in the sale, this kit. Our scrapbooking kits are not included. So don't get confused. It's only what comes in those boxes, not what the scrapbooking. Yeah.
They call them the kits collection.
Yes. So I think that's it for the day.
So let me put us back on. Oop, there we go. So next month, what would be our normal get-together day, the last Thursday of the month for US, and then the last Friday, Australia, happens to be Halloween night for the US. So we are going to figure out what to do. So we'll get back to you on when we're going to meet next. And then the following month, November, the normal time would be what we call Black Friday. And so we'll figure that out as well. So it might be a slightly different schedule for the next 2 months. I haven't even looked at December yet.
And probably the next 3 months when you think that through. So yeah. IDEO. We'll also work out what we're showcasing. We're thinking of doing a 3D project. So one that could be used for Christmas, whether as a gift or maybe a table present or something. So if you've got any requests or what you think, or if you would or you're still desperately looking for card designs or something, leave us a note. And then we can have a discussion about that afterwards as to what we should be doing. Because to be honest, we're here to help you get ready for Christmas. So what you need is what we want to do, not what we want to do. So yeah.
But speaking of getting ready for Christmas, both Anne and I do what we call 12 weeks of Christmas. So that is coming up soon. So be on your lookout. But you need to be on. I know for my 12 weeks of Christmas, I only send them out to my mailing list. So if you want to get them, you need to be on my mailing list. And so you can just head to my blog.
I'm the same.
mailsomethingpretty.com and sign up for the mailing list. And then in your website, or however that you sign up.
Yeah, you can do it through my blog. You can actually do it through my Facebook page. Or you can send me a message and I can do it. But I will be sending the link out to my mailing list over the next after Sunday. After I finish the catalogue launch, I will then be sending it out to everybody. So our 12 weeks of Christmas are completely different. So you can easily sign up for Christine's and sign up for mine as well, because we do different projects. And Christine's I will say, the 3D queen. So she does always a lot of 3D. So now the pressure's on you. Whereas I changed in a year. I do simple cards.
Well, I'll tell you, my Christmas cards are always on the simpler side because I strongly feel since you're making so many of them, they need to be
Yeah,
simple.
yeah.
But I actually do specifically weeks 1 through 6 are cards, and then I forget how it's set up, but then weeks 7 through something are gifts,
Tag.
and then I do
Oh,
tags and bags.
oh,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Righto.
set up
Yeah,
that way.
yeah. So
So
and I
that's
work on a
exciting.
similar scheme. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's coming up soon. Mary Lou loves that we're both doing 12 weeks of Christmas. Yes. Um, and that starts soon, which means we need to get going.
Yes, it's a little hectic at the moment, so but that's okay. Idio, Christine, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Bye. It's been a fun day. I have laughed despite the certain amount of challenges that I may have had today.
You
Um,
handle it beautifully.
with dignity and grace, or better, with just humor. That's the best
Yeah.
thing I can do.
But thank you everyone for watching, especially if you're new. We love new people, so thank you very much for watching. We do this for you, but we kind of do it for ourselves too because it's just fun to craft with other people, and so we like to have fun, and so we're glad that you kind of join us in that. So have a wonderful week and month, and we'll see you sometime next month. We'll put it out when we're going to do it, but we both do lives each week, so you can join us for those as well. Good.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye, Christine.
Goodbye, Anne.
Bye.